I recently asked you if you had any questions that you wanted to ask me, and you didn't disappoint. In fact, I got so many responses, I'm actually going to split this into 4 different parts. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, this one is from KT. KT, the letters KT via Messenger, who asks, if you had to choose a single discipline to study academically for the rest of your life, what would you choose? This is a hard one. My undergrad degree is in religion, philosophy and ethics, and I like all those subjects, and I'm planning on going on to do a master's in psychology. So, and I love that. But also as a layperson, I love cosmology, you know, I love neurology. If anything was available to me and I could kind of start, I'm old now, if I was young and I could start again and anything was available to me, probably be neurology, I think. At this moment in time, I'm very excited about psychology. I've always been excited about psychology as a layperson, and I'm really excited about going on to do it, you know, properly, if you like, academically, and become qualified in it. And so I think I'd have to go with psychology, simply because it's the next step I am taking, and I'm going to be doing it for the next few years, and I'm doing it not just out of interest, but possibly with a view to working in the field as well. So I think I'd be sad to see the other things go, but if I had to choose, I think I would have to say psychology. That was a really good question. The next one is from Tyrone O'Pop. Tyrone O'Pop via Messenger. Where do you guys come up with your names? That's great. I saw you debate Dean Meadows. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I saw you debate Dean Meadows. Would you do more debates in the future? Let me just start off by saying that debate with Dean Meadows was an absolute car crash. And the reason it was a car crash is because we had agreed terms beforehand. And then during the debate, Dean changed the definitions of some of the things we'd already agreed, and that threw me off. And I think he did it on purpose. I couldn't say for sure. And it kind of threw the whole thing out of whack, because we just ended up kind of arguing about the meanings of words and, you know, who accepted what. Dean certainly appeared to change his stance during the debate based on what I'd said to what he'd said previously elsewhere. That was frustrating. And it kind of turned that around into it kind of looking like I was trying to straw man him, which wasn't the case. It was just literally the case that I'd heard him use that definition himself, which he appeared to change through the debate. So that aside, would I like to do more debates in the future? I'm always up for debates. I've done debates in real life. I will probably do so again. YouTube is not the best platform for debates, I don't think. And I don't particularly like debating, just simply because the format is, I prefer conversations. I prefer just having conversations rather than having set amount of times to make a point. They have the place. It's not my thing. I will probably do them again here. Will I do them again on YouTube? It would have to be the right opponent, the right subject and the right platform. That's all I can say on that one. Okay, so next we've got Skeptic Sally. Skeptic Sally via Messenger, who asks, what is your favourite car? You'd think with the name like Skeptic Sally, I was expecting something other than this. What is your favourite car? I don't know. I'm not really a car person. I drive a little battered up Toyota Yaris at the moment that I inherited from my mum when she passed away. But I'm not really a car person. I've always wanted something like a Ford Ranger, a pickup truck, just to make it easy to lug stuff like this about, all the camera equipment and everything, when I'm doing stuff. And it gets to, I go into some somewhat inaccessible areas sometimes. It'd help me get in there. So probably something like that, something like a Ford Ranger. I'm not a fan of electric cars at all. And, you know, I've no problem with the hybrids, but I just don't think we're there yet with the electric cars. And I know technicians and mechanics who've worked on them and don't like them either. In fact, every person I know who works in the motor trade says that they wouldn't by choice have an electric vehicle, and I think that tells you quite a lot about them. So yeah, favourite car, great question. Again, that threw me off completely. Next we have Tim West via Messenger, who asks, do you wish you talked about politics more? The short answer to that is no. There are plenty of people in our community who do talk about politics. When I'm doing stuff with the atheist community of Austin, we're not allowed to talk about politics there. That suits me down to the ground. My wife's got a degree in politics. It's not my thing. My thing is religion, philosophy, why people believe what they do, that kind of stuff. I'm not particularly into politics. I don't particularly follow politics, and I'm not that interested in talking about it, if I'm honest with you. So no, is the short answer to that. And next we have Kyle via Facebook, who asks, have you ever tried peanut butter and jelly? I assume it means to say sandwich at the end of that. It just asks, have you ever tried a peanut butter and jelly? We do have peanut butter and jelly. We call it jam over here in the UK. Sandwich. When I was training, I used to train quite a lot before I got COVID, when I was able to train, you know, hard, and I did eat a lot of peanut butter and jam sandwiches then. So yeah, I have tried them. I am a fan of them, and if you're doing exercise, I highly recommend them. Yeah, thanks for that one.